Hey guys, this is Joshua Seth, voice of Ty on Digimon, and you're listening to Anime Secrets.
What's going on, everybody? Toku Secrets podcast here, presented by AnimeSecrets.org, and to talk about some recent news that has just been released regarding Power Rangers toys, and it's not really good news. We discussed this previously with Frankie, talking about how Hasbro has officially outsourced the Power Rangers brand to Playmates. Playmates being a toy company that makes a lot of like old. Well, I assume based on what I've heard of them and what they do with the Ninja Turtles, that they make like old school like remakes of toys from like another time period, and they've just released a some photos of what these Mighty Morphin toys are about to look like, and yeah, they're not really good.
Oh, come on. They don't probably look that bad.
You want to bet? You want to bet, Anthony?
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
want to bet?
I want to bet.
Okay. If we win and these are the worst things you've ever seen, you got to admit for all the time that a certain Sentai is the worst one of all time.
Okay, fine. Whatever.
All right, here we go. You heard it first.
What? Just a regular... Oh my goodness! What is that?
My eyes!
Oh, why do they look? The portions look so. Why do they look so chunky? Like,
Okay, so
Oh,
like,
now, for everyone who
Here's a
thinks that we were just
slab of meat with
kayfabing
limbs
here,
on them.
kayfabing here, that was a reenactment of Anthony's literal reaction when he first saw these things. So, no, that we're not kayfabing it up. That's literally what he said.
no,
that's
literally,
literally what I said.
before this began, I played it. Like, I put this on screen for the guys, and Anthony gave that word-for-word reaction.
Yep.
Yeah, I just saw this on Twitter about 10 minutes ago in real time, and my first thought was, I'm crying inside. These are terrible.
Thanks, I hate it.
And Riz is right. They do look like the flip head morphin figures that we used to get back in the day, but even compared to those, these look terrible.
But there's no feature for that. They're just like that for no reason.
I mean, read the description. It says you can press a lever. Collectors can watch all six Rangers morph from their teenage selves to the heroic form. So that's what they are.
Oh, but they still
Yeah,
look terrible, though.
Look how chunky they are.
Right.
The head, the arms, and legs are so skinny compared to the torsos, man.
I mean, okay.
They look like Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
No, okay,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to find the right way to say this. And I'm failing to find words that are appropriate for a screen.
Just say it.
These are god-awful.
The Dragon Dagger is so
The Dragon Dagger is an
big.
insult. Because that's not even how
Why
Dragon
is
Dagger
it
is supposed to look.
It's not even the right color. It's not. It doesn't have that much gold on it.
And it looks a little too big, like almost like it's like,
It's bigger than his head.
yeah. And
He
the
has to
blade
hold it
looks
by the
like it's
very
almost
tip of
as
the
long
hip.
as the power sword.
Now, here's my question. Looking at this thing real quick. If we can zoom in.
Mhm.
Maybe I can zoom in more. No, I can't zoom in more. That's all I get. Okay. So I'm looking at the crevice here. Okay, cool. My mouse pops up on here. You see how there's
Yeah,
that little
that's
thing
where
here for the popper?
Yeah.
That makes me think that the dragon shield is actually part of the figure and it's not like removable like it was in the 90s.
It does look
Yeah,
like that.
I
Because look
can
at the
see that.
look at his shoulders. There's a cut where it's for the shoulder swivel.
So it's kind of like when they later did the flip heads for Zeo, they the gold armor on the gold Rangers, that wasn't an add-on thing like the Dragon Shield was. It was just part of the whole figure. So I guess they're going that route this time.
I mean, I guess. But like, okay, so one, they're chunky. And I understand that they're a bit chunkier to probably fit the head in there. But if you're going to make them that chunky, then make the legs bigger so that they look proportionate.
You know, I was halfway gonna say Squidward, but I have to say Hasbro.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay, so
the one upside here, I guess, they technically improved on. They technically make it look slightly more show accurate because if you remember on the original flip heads, they all had little small versions of their power coins on the chest, like they did in the movie. But that's literally the only thing I can say that they changed that is actually that I guess would technically be preferable because Pat, I know that you said that you didn't like the designs of those flip head things, but I mean, for the time, I mean they're iconic,
they
but
are. I'm not going to
but
debate that they are, but
yeah, but these one, I mean, the old school flip heads were at least like, I mean, they didn't look perfect, but they were still pretty cool. But why would anyone want to play with these things?
Exactly. So even the old ones don't look that bad.
they don't look chunky, but they definitely look flat.
Yeah.
So they have their own
Yeah.
problems.
Kind of like, if you took a Power Ranger and like, inserted them into like some old like PlayStation or Dreamcast video game, but I mean I don't know, you could get worse. And if you want to know how
Okay.
you could get worse,
Mhm.
look at what Playmates is doing.
Well,
I
Riz,
zoomed in for a reason. I zoomed in. Hang
hold on,
on.
Riz. Here's a silhouette of the elite, a picture of the silhouette of the basic figures that we're supposed to get, and they look a little bit better.
Hang on. Let me.
So they must be doing multiple lines.
I'm gonna give me 1 second to pop it over on the screen. There you go.
That's the silhouette of the base figures that we're going to be getting. They look better.
They look better,
Yeah.
but like I don't know.
I need to see the intricacies.
I'm still not hopeful because I'm just like, but
Yeah, well, I said this back when we talked about this originally. I'm not a big fan of Playmates. Their toys are very, I don't want to say simple, but compared to like Hasbro and Bandai and stuff, their stuff's a little bit more lower quality.
right.
So I don't have the highest expectations for these, but
It's like on one hand, like I kind of know people were kind of like on Hasbro's case about the whole thing with their line and whatnot, which I'm not even mad at the customers. The customers like, hey, like we want better stuff. Like we're paying y'all money, give us better stuff. I have no issue with that, and I don't really have an issue with how people are reacting to this as well because like. We just wanted them to do better. We didn't want them to go back and just make it worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me though.
But yeah,
Then they just
definitely
kind of
not.
they just gave up. I'm like, y'all, like, if y'all would have just kept the momentum going, y'all would have been good. But you just squandered all your effort, and for nothing. And I don't even get
Yeah.
started the fact that we found out that literally they were saying like, oh, we were making the figures poor quality on purpose. I'm like, why would you admit to that? Like, it's
Yeah, definitely not an ideal way to start off Playmates this time with the series. That and unfortunately, I mean, I don't know much about the differences with toy companies, but definitely not definitely not a reason to be optimistic, at least from what I can tell.
well, Frankie and I will definitely get our hands on them. So you might see videos from us about them. So
Yeah. But yeah, this was just a quick reaction, guys, to everything with these new releases for the toys for Mighty Morphin and Playmates. Yeah, we'll give more details when we can, but let's just say that it's definitely not a great way to kick things off. So, and now we got Frankie on.
Hi. These are disgusting.
thank you.
Absolutely.
I messaged Frankie the link and said, "Hey, If you want to hop on, say they're disgusting, and leave, you can.
Now, listen, these are made by Playmates, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I actually have their Voltron, which actually is pretty good. So I'm hoping the Megazord is good.
Oh, you must have got the old school one because they had those at my job as well.
Yeah, they just reissued it recently.
Yeah.
But I hope the Megazord's good. These guys make the '90s flip figures look good. This is horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somehow.
Somehow.
Okay, yeah, definitely good to have Frankie's insight. Yeah, these definitely no reason to be optimistic, unfortunately, for Playmates this time with the franchise. But yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
we'll bring you guys more news as we get it. But yeah, this was just a quick little news section, and we'll definitely do some more on this related to the toys, and we will we'll try to put out some content on the Fandom Toy Box for whoever wants to just get their hands on them and just probably rip these things apart. Definitely check out more on the Fandom Toy Box. But yeah, sorry that we can't end this video on a more positive note, but I mean, it is what it is with Power Rangers, unfortunately. So yeah, everybody, just keep an eye out for actual reviews of this stuff on the Fandom Toy Box when they come out, and we'll resume our regular content as scheduled. But until then, bye for now.